These are the pictures you've seen of...
Society has lost its mind. For the better part of a decade, we've had mental illness run amok.
My dog stepped on a bee.
ETS, intersectional feminism, gender identity has taken over. The losers are in charge. Anyone speaking against these views has been banned, canceled, discriminated against, lied on, doxxed, abused, and silenced.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for them.
There are very few places to hear an alternative voice.
You think you're tough?
Against the wackiness. Backed into a corner of the internet, these voices still fight. But even then, sometimes your allies are really your enemies all along. I think there have been plants put in to create internal strife between the opposition and a coordinated strike effort.
Get the out, Scroats McGoat. See you later. Bye-bye. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out.
Over the past 10 years, there's been a major campaign to silence a difference of opinion.
For the first time, I have to say that I believe many of those in charge in the right-leaning media are actually at odds with what's best for you, the viewer, the customer, and more importantly, the country.
Well, let me tell you something, brother.
The thing that's the problem is that there is little self-reflection, accountability, and there are horrible talking points. You can try to destroy society, corrupt our morality, but we will fight back. I won't turn my back.
I just finally know what I have to do, and I know in my heart that it's right.
If you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. And I found something worth fighting for. Our society, our friends, our country. And you can't take away that feeling. You can't take away the feeling of seeing Luke Skywalker. The feeling I felt for the Transformers.
It's in here. In here. That's the beauty, big. Can't get that from you. Haven't you ever felt that way?
Things were going on a natural progression, but you're trying to force us into a way that we don't agree with. There is no compromise, but you can't grow without compromise.
It's reminiscent of television in its early days, when indeed there was certainly a race problem in those days. It wasn't out in the street. It wasn't loud in our ears. It wasn't infesting our gut, our conscious gut as it is today, but by God, there was anguish amongst minorities then as there is now.
I remember that play you wrote, The Town Turned the Dust.
Oh yeah, well, you see, then you assaulted the straw men who were acceptable as minority groups. Mexicans, American Indians, Eskimos, beaten down, downtrodden peasants under the Tsar. These were the minorities, but not the Negro. Now, consequently, I think the purpose, the point of a dramatic show, which is used as a vehicle of social criticism, is to involve an audience, to show them wherein their guilt lies, or at least, indeed, their association. But when you're talking about a bunch of cavalrymen knocking off a bunch of poor redskins and putting them into a reservation, the audience need to have no association, certainly no guilt. How many Indians have they pushed into a reservation? But if indeed you talk about a denial of a man putting his garbage can next to yours, whether he's fought in Vietnam or wherever, by virtue of his color, now you're getting into a universal guilt, which they should feel, or at least in part understand.
Here's where it makes the most sense. You need it so you don't forget.
Forget?
Forget that there are places in the world that aren't made out of stone. That there's something inside that they can't get to, that they can't touch.
Each must, for himself alone, decide what is right and what is wrong, and which course is patriotic and which isn't. You cannot shirk this and be a man. To decide against your convictions is to be an unqualified and inexcusable traitor, both to yourself and to your country. Let men label you as they may. If you alone of all the nations shall decide one way, and that way be the right way according to your convictions of the right, you have your duty by yourself and by your country. Hold up your head. You have nothing to be ashamed of. Doesn't matter what the press says. Doesn't matter what the politicians or mobs say. Doesn't matter if the whole country decides that something wrong is something right. This nation was founded on one principle above all else: the requirement that we stand up for what we believe, no matter the odds or the consequences. When the mob and the press and the whole world tell you to move, your job is to plant yourself like a tree beside the river of truth and tell the whole world, no, you move.